Welcome back to Age of Radio Mercury, your home for podcasting and other pop culture news. My name is Jeremy at Age of Jeremy, and this is the beautiful Jinx at The Jinx Cosplay, dressed as Tifa in her Walmart costume, which I thought was Walmart earlier, but we cleared that up.
You got it close. It's Walmart.
Walmart, dang it!
He thought it was Walmart. Now he's at Walmart.
I'm still stuck on
so
Walmart.
He's almost there.
Oh, we'll have it by the end of Sunday evening.
Yeah, when I'm in a different costume.
Okay, yeah, actually when it's not relevant anymore whatsoever. But we are live at Game On Expo, and Jinx, you just got done doing a segment with Fire Team Phoenix, and they did some foam talk in that, I heard.
They did do some foam talk. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it because here soon I'm going to do some foam talk.
Foam talk?
I'm excited about that. Let's see if foam talk comes up on the stage. Dustin, are you paying attention?
Yeah, so Fire Team Phoenix, they're a Halo and other video game-based cosplay group, and they do a lot of builds. So they talked about how they made armor out of foam and 3D printing. We talked about vacuum forming and a lot of other cool stuff.
That is awesome, and I love having you. Well, the reason why I said it like that, because I was thinking, you know, if I didn't have you for a lot of these cosplay segments, it would be so confusing because I have no idea what's going on, which is one of the main reasons why I started the Foam Talk segment, was not only because of convention foam fighting, but also because there's so many cosplayers. I love cosplay. I love seeing cosplayers, and to learn more about it and the foam work that goes into it, I get really excited about.
Absolutely.
And here in a moment, I'm going to be bringing up Danielle and her husband Brandon. They are from HuskyHubbyCosplay, and if you guys watch Mercury on our regular show on Fridays, Danielle actually does a Foam Talk segment with us once a month. So I'm really excited to have them up here in a moment. But before we do that, earlier today, Jinx, you had the opportunity to do a segment with Nexus Entertainment. Can you tell me a little bit about that, and then we'll play a clip?
Yeah, absolutely. So Nexus Entertainment is, they're a company that's been around for years, but they now have a brick and mortar store that opened in Tempe just 5 months ago. So they do all sorts of gaming, video games, and pop culture. They do competitions and gaming sessions in store. They have monthly events like their Crit and I don't remember what it's called, but it's a D&D kind of like teaching session, and then do monthly anime trivia. They are at 1829 North Scottsdale Road. James, the owner, was glad to talk to us.
That's awesome. Well, Dustin, go ahead and play that clip.
Mercury, your home for podcasting and pop culture news, here at Game On Expo 2026. We're here checking out Nexus. It is a new gaming company here in Phoenix, Arizona. And I have with me James. He is the owner of Nexus. Do you want to give us a quick little bit of information about it?
Yeah, so Nexus Entertainment is really a hub for all things gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. We're just trying to bring a safe and diverse but inclusive space for people to come together, learn, share, and celebrate with each other.
So what kind of merchandise and products do you offer at your store?
Literally everything you can imagine in the space. So anything from anime figures, plush, TCGs, Pokemon. One Piece has been really huge for us as well. RPG gaming, literally anything in gaming and pop culture, we carry it.
And you actually have gaming space in the store, right?
Yeah, we do. So we have a play space right now that fits about 36 players. We're actually building out a private D&D room experience as well, and a Warhammer room for people who want to do wargaming.
Okay, great. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what you have available at your booth. So can you tell me what came about the creation of Nexus, and how did that company come to be?
Yeah, so this has been over a decade-long dream of mine. Growing up in the convention scene and being around other comic stores, I always wanted to build my own community and space. So I've been working slowly with online sales and eventually doing conventions. We've been sponsoring Game On and Fan Fusion for the past couple of years now, doing different TCG tournaments. But now we have a brick and mortar. We've been open for about 5 months, so pretty new. That's a pretty new experience for us, and just excited to finally get back to our community and have a cool place for people to kind of learn and grow from.
And you have a lot of products here that you guys can buy here at Game On Expo. If you haven't bought your tickets, I don't know what you're waiting for. You can still buy day tickets online, and it is going from today, Saturday, March 14th, and then tomorrow, Sunday, March 15th. So James, do you have any upcoming promotions or activities that you have going on regularly?
Yeah, so one of our more popular events is Crit and Craft. It's the first Saturday of every month in our store. We do a one-shot D&D campaign as well as a mini painting experience. Really great for people looking to kind of get into the hobby for the first time, to learn to play D&D. And the last Saturday of the month, we're doing a new event called Anime Trivia Night. So if you're an anime fan from mid-era to new-gen anime, you can come in, grab a partner, and compete for some awesome raffles and prizes.
So I know we didn't plan for these questions, but what is your favorite anime?
Oh, favorite anime right now. I'll give you my top 3 because it's always hard for me to pick. So Attack on Titan's a big one for me. Full Metal Alchemist, and it kind of bounces between a couple other ones. We'll throw Free Run in there. I really like the storyline overall. So.
Yeah, I actually cried in Free Run. So do you accept cosplayers to come to these anime trivia nights?
Absolutely. So we're actually a cosplay-friendly store, so anyone can come in, even outside of Anime Trivia Night. We're a welcoming, safe space for people. So.
Awesome. All right. And then do you have any other kinds of bits of information or advice you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see this community grow and flourish. You know, back in my day, it was kind of hard to find anime and manga to read online. So the fact that it's becoming more acceptable in the mainstream media, I think it's awesome that we have so many tools and merchandise that we can enjoy. Cosplay being more acceptable and just having more spaces to be our authentic selves is really awesome to see, and us being able to provide that as well. So.
Are you a local? Have you been here? Is this your hometown?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in Arizona.
And what were your favorite comic shops back then?
So Samurai Comics was actually my personal comic shop growing up.
Yeah.
Pop Culture Paradise, and they were around as well. But
I actually lived by Stalking Moon. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they were in the West Valley, and I would go with my brothers. Anyway, that's awesome because I never find other local comic nerds that are here. But guys, sorry for my little story time. You can visit Nexus Entertainment at 1829 North Scottsdale Road in Tempe, and you can visit them nexus-entertainment.com and right here at Game On Expo. So come on over, and hopefully we'll see you there.
And we are back, and if you notice, Jessica or Jinx is gone, but that was James and Jinx talking about Nexus Entertainment. So again, we're at Game On Expo, so if you guys are watching this live, or if you're watching this in the future, make sure that you come down to Game On Expo 2026, or come down and see Game On Expo 2027. Mm-hmm. That's the reason why we do these, is so you know what's going on and how amazing these conventions and the communities are that are at these conventions. And one of those communities is Arizona Cosplay, and from Arizona Cosplay I got introduced to Danielle and Brandon at HuskyHubbyCosplay, and they are dressed fantastic today. I'm so excited. You've got
Trying not to move so much so I don't stab anyone.
Yeah, I don't want to get poked.
Yeah, you have so much talent, and you've gotten so many compliments. I mean, you guys were just waiting out here for maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and multiple people stopped to get pictures. So to kind of kick us off before we go into foam talk, before we go into that, can you let me know, Danielle, who you're dressed as, and then Brandon can let me know who he's dressed as.
Yeah, so I'm the X-Man Magic from X-Men, but she's also in Marvel Rivals, and so because it's Game On, we did the Marvel Rivals version, and I did the Phoenix Demon skin because she's just so badass.
Yeah, it looks badass.
I was gonna
say,
say,
you look badass. And
can I say ass?
Yeah,
so, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, I try not to swear, but we see how that goes when I'm talking about something. So
BA, I look really cool.
Yeah, she looks amazing. Let's see if we can. I don't want to overuse that word, but we have amazing on the screen. Dustin's pushing it, so cool. So Brandon, who are you dressed as?
Yeah, so I'm dressed as Blade from Marvel Rivals as well. This is just his default skin because some of the other ones were pretty cool, but this one I wanted to be able to transition between this one and also just a standard Blade, the Wesley Snipes one from my childhood that I love, but since this is Game On, and it's hard to talk with these fangs. Yeah. But since this is Game On, we want to do.
I was like, your teeth got much sharper
so,
than when I saw you last time.
Yeah.
All right.
It's that vampire serum.
Yep.
So these are characters that are from Marvel, but you're dressed as that version of the character that's from the game Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
For people that don't know what Marvel Rivals is, if you could just give me a brief synopsis of that, Danielle.
So, I've played probably 20 minutes of it in my whole life.
Brandon, have you played more than 20 minutes of it in your whole life?
30 minutes. So
Fantastic.
yeah, I got on to see what Blade looked like, and I did some of his moves in the training area. But yeah, I haven't played it a lot. But I know it's in general, it's a team fighting, and there's different there's DPS, tank, and healer. They're called
it's similar. I feel like it's very similar to Overwatch.
Yes.
Is the gist of what I've gotten when I've played.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're just playing Overwatch, I think, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Overwatch
I
Overwatch
want to
is-
play it, but
Yeah.
I
also wanna play
spend all my
Overwatch.
time doing this.
Well, right, so that's one of the things that I think is funny is because I'm at these conventions and there are things that I love, but then there's so much stuff that I've never done or
Yeah.
have just seen in passing because most of the time I'm working. So it's
Yep.
kind
Yeah.
of like, okay, you need to find time to know about everything that's going on, but then you need to find time to do the thing that
To
you're
do
doing
the
of why
things.
you're
Yep,
there.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Right, which we'll talk a little bit about Con Crunch and why
Yes.
we don't have as much foam, which isn't
Yes.
your fault, but
Yes.
but we are going to have some foam talk in this. But it brings
Foam
up
talk.
a great conversation about Con Crunch. But before we get into that, Danielle and Brandon, I do want to ask you. So you both are dressed for Marvel Rivals, and the group that you're a part of, the nonprofit group, is Arizona Cosplay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
all of you are dressed as Marvel Rivals today.
Yes, the majority of the group is dressed as Marvel Rivals
Yeah.
today. So we've got at our booth, we've also got Ultron, and we've got Squirrel Girl, and yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So who's Andre? Is Andre dressed as someone today?
Unfortunately, Con Crunch didn't go as well for Andre.
Man, Con Crunch is the real
Yeah,
thing.
so he's Sun Wukong from
Oh,
that
whoa,
game.
well, that's
It's awesome.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
awesome.
his
Yeah.
son Wukong is so.
Yes.
I'm gonna change my word up. Awesome, because it looks like he's like the way that he did the
Yeah.
mouth
The
on
mouth,
that
yep.
mask. Hopefully, when we do our vendor walkthrough, we can swing by
Yeah.
and see that. I guess that might not be today. So who's he gonna be tomorrow? You know.
Oh, I don't know. He
I don't
didn't
know.
say.
We didn't.
Alright.
It may,
yeah.
He may be Sun Wukong again, possibly.
Oh. Well, we'll see what
We'll
happens.
see.
Or you know what? I think he might. He's bringing out his Star Wars guy.
Oh,
Who's It's not Darth Maul and it's not Darth
no,
Vader.
It's Star Killer.
Star Killer.
Oh, he's
Yep,
Star
he's
Killer.
Star
Yeah,
Killer.
yeah,
Yep,
Star
Star
Killer.
Killer tomorrow.
Oh, and I think he did that at Game On one of the days last year because
Yeah.
I had never heard of that, and then
yeah.
he talked to me about it a little
Mhm.
bit. But all right, so let's talk a little bit before we go into these weapons here. I guess what's the other word for weapon that's not a weapon? Like what do they call them when you have to check props? Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so before we go into these props here, let's talk about Con Crunch. I've heard it multiple times. Jessica had Con Crunch. Thermo didn't do this possibly because she was doing some other stuff, and she didn't want to be part of Con Crunch. So what is Con Crunch? And tell me a little bit about what it took for you guys to get to the event and everything that you had to do as cosplayers.
Okay, so con crunch is the term that we use when we are crunched for time before a con and we're just working to get the props and the armor and the cosplay done. So Con Crunch for us, Brandon is lucky enough to work from home. So
Nice.
yes, I let go of the reins a little bit this time, and I was like, I'm going to teach you to do the priming and the painting, and he did an awesome job.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was it's nice to kind of get into it a little bit more because I see all the work she does, and she does a great job with making cosplays for me and her, and the time and the effort that's put into it. I understand it a lot more now that I've been able to help with this build. And,
So now you're more,
now I get it. Yeah, so I've
you're
been
more
in full,
cognizant of the
yeah,
time,
yeah.
the
Yes.
time, and then because you're married,
Yes,
which I
yes.
don't think I mentioned this, but
Yeah.
you're both married. So now you see that she works. I'm
Yeah.
assuming, and then comes home and does all of
Yeah,
this.
Yes.
exactly.
But it's I feel like though, at the end of the day, though, both of you being a part of it, hopefully it'll make it easier.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
absolutely
But
has.
it's also worth it because you guys have. I don't know if it's because I follow you both on social media, but you both are everywhere. I feel like at every convention I feel like every time I
Right?
go onto my phone, you're at another convention, and sometimes they're in different states.
Yeah.
And that's what I bring a lot of the crafting. That's why I
Right.
tend to be on Foam Talk.
Yeah.
Woo woo,
Woo
Foam
woo,
Talk.
foam talk, hit the foam, Dustin.
Right? Foam Talk. Part
There it is.
time.
Oh, good, there it is.
excellent.
Excellent. We should make
Wiggity, wiggity.
we should make a little jingle
Yes.
for foam talk.
Just don't let me do it. 'cause
No,
that's
I
what
think
it-
we
that's
should
what
have
it'll
you do
sound
that. That'll be
like.
fantastic.
But yeah, so Brandon is our social media manager. So he does all of our applying to conventions and talking to people like that. And that's super duper helpful at Con Crunch time because he's already set everything up, and
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
just buckle down and spend the hours from 4 o'clock when I get home to
12
2
o'clock?
a.m.
2 a.m.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
morning. Oh, my
and
gosh.
then the past 3 nights, it's been 4 a.m.
That is so. Is that just because? Well, so is that just? I don't mean this in a
Yeah, no,
bad
no.
way.
Yeah.
Is that from lack of making the time for the planning piece of it, or stuff goes wrong, or what causes? Is it procrastination? What causes it to be like a crunch at the end there?
So it's kind of a mixture of all three.
Got it.
I've never actually been diagnosed with ADHD, but I might align with
that a little bit.
because there's this thing called time blindness,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, this thing's only going to take me like 30 minutes, and then
Yeah.
I spend 4 hours trying to wire a sword because they make soldering look so easy on the internet.
Yeah.
And then you go to do it, and I'm like, well, why isn't mine doing the thing that hit? Like, it's not this perfect little bead. Or when I'm like, oh, these will only take like an hour to sand, and then I'm sanding like 55 spikes
Right.
for like 5 hours.
See, I didn't know
and
that
then-
was a thing of ADHD. Maybe I do have ADHD.
Right? It
'Cause
is
I'm like,
time
this is going to
blindness.
take me 4 minutes. 7 hours
Yeah,
later,
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I was completely wrong on that time frame.
And then you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, I know how I want to do that. And then you're like, all the steps in between, you're like, that's not what it looked like in my brain before I started, and now I don't
Yeah.
know what to do.
Right.
So, and then I also procrastinate.
Yeah.
So
So with Brandon helping this time though, Brandon, did you have that? Did that same situation like? Did you have that time blindness when you were doing it, or were you like, I'm going to do this, I have this time, and I'm done?
Yeah, that's kind of how I am
That's how he works.
in my work life and also
Correct,
just
yeah.
my life in general. So I try to set stuff up so that I know that I have enough time to do it and get it done. And that's why we're so good together, because we're completely
Yes.
opposites on that. In that front. Like, so hopefully
Which is usually what happens. Usually we try to find in our other partner the things that we
Yeah.
don't have in ourselves, and that's what makes a team happen.
Mhm.
exactly.
Exactly,
That's
right.
why
That's
we're
exactly how
a
it
great
is.
team.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'd love to say we're a great team in the game too, but I don't even know if we play the same positions
right?
or not. Because if we're both vanguards or tanks or
whatever.
whatever, then you
Yeah.
can't have two of those. So
That's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your outfit here, or your
Yes.
cosplay here. So you're dressed as Magic,
yes.
and this is what was the
Phoenix Demon.
So
So
did you make this just for this then?
yes.
Got it. So
This
this
was-
is your first time doing this.
Yes, this is our debut of
Yeah.
Blade and Magic,
Yep.
and then we'll be at Level Up. Well, we're going to WeebCon
Yep.
in Texas the beginning of April, and then we'll be at Level Up at the end of April. And so Level Up is another kind of more gaming convention.
There's some Wukong.
Oh, look.
Oh, there's
there he
Sun
is.
Wukong. Hey, come do me real quick. No, come back here. Come back here real quick. Just super fast.
This is Sun Wukong.
Just in case we don't see it, because can you talk real quick? Just say something. Yeah, no, I know you can. I want to show everybody.
The
So this is
movement.
Andre from Arizona Cosplay, and what's great about this Sun Wukong mask that is some of the best I've seen is the fact that when he talks, the mouth actually opens with it, which is amazing, and I love it so much.
It's so
Thank you
cool.
so much, Andre. Yep. All right.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. There we go. Okay. Because I only say no one word for things that are good, I
Right.
guess. Okay, so how long did it take for you to put all this together? Let's talk about the 3D printing this, and then we'll go to your prop here, the weapon.
Okay.
So all of this that's not in the middle breastplate, this is all,
Yeah,
I guess, 3D
the
printing.
props, yeah, are 3D printed. So, and so are the spikes on Brandon's chest. We do. I know I'm going to pivot just a little bit.
Yeah, so we're okay.
We do a lot of like what we're about is that cosplay is inclusive for every size, every body, like anybody and everybody can
Right.
cosplay.
Yeah.
And so because of that, because Brandon is like big football sized, we have to repattern a lot of things and do things outside of the box. So there was a 3D print pattern for his chest plate, like the actual, like more blade-ish from the game, but it would have taken like 3 days to print and had to be broken up into like 8 different pieces. And it just wouldn't scale right. And so instead, we kind of turned our thinking brains on. And this is a repurposed catcher's gear.
Oh.
So I bought catcher's gear, and then he sanded it, and then we primed it and painted it, and that's what his like chest plate is.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of a combo of like bought, and then I 3D printed the stakes. But altogether, all of the 3D printed pieces, I was probably printing off and on for about 3 weeks.
What was the reason? Because originally, a lot of people, when they're in cosplay, they start off like closet cosplay, and then they usually move up from what my gathering
Yeah.
is foam or something, or cardboard or foam or something
Yep.
along those lines. And then it seems like a lot of people, as they continue, then they get into 3D printing. And so you've taken more into 3D printing lately since you got a 3D? Because you got a 3D printer
yeah.
last year.
In
or
July of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
last year. And did you get the 3D printer specifically to help with the cosplay? And my question is it to make it like more efficient and faster, or is it because you can't build some of the stuff with foam and cardboard, or I guess
Yeah.
can you go into that?
Again, it's kind of both.
Yeah.
So it really helps with doing more like structural shapes to do it on a 3D printer, because
Right.
like trying to do 1.5 million spikes and get them to fit and do, like, you can do all of this with foam. And there are a lot of people, like tutorials, who've done Magic Sword even with LEDs out of foam.
Yeah.
It just is, for us, it's a little bit faster, and then I can kind of, it's faster to do
Well, it's
the
faster
shaping.
from the making part of it,
Yes.
but it's not faster from like probably sanding,
Oh,
and
sanding
then probably
is the worst.
probably like painting, which we'll talk about the prop here in a second. But
Yeah,
continue
yeah,
what you were
yeah.
gonna say.
Freaking sanding is the worst. Like
Yeah.
anyone who's like 3D printing is cheating in cosplay has never sanded a piece of PLA.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like doing more of the prop stuff because I feel like you can get a better finish on PLA.
So we can see this is Magic Sword. So
Yes.
was this a cat? You got this cat? Was this from you didn't do the CAD or what is it?
Oh
Or
yeah,
the
no,
Blender?
the
You
modeling. I
the
didn't
Blender
model it.
modeling.
No,
Okay, so you bought when you
but
have
I
to buy.
printed all the pieces. Yep.
Well, yeah, but for the piece for the model, do you
Uh-huh.
have to purchase that, or are they free online? Or how does that work?
Both. So I purchased this one from Illustrious Models. They're a couple cosplayers, or a cosplay couple out of Australia. And so they did it, and they had like the wiring diagram and all of that, which I was like, oh, I can read a diagram. Okay, wiring is way more than reading a diagram.
Right.
Like the amount of like Googling that I had to do.
That's what I thought until I saw a blueprint for the first time. I was like, nope, I have no idea what's going on.
And then Brandon's in like software development, but he's on the software side, and I was like, do you know how to solder? And he's like, I don't do hardware.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, maybe you should learn that. And then I was doing them, and I was like, no.
And now Brandon's a master at
Yeah.
soldering.
I wish.
Soldering takes smaller fingers, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
That's right. I was doing it at 4
Because he's
a.m.
never
with
said-
New York
Yeah,
State
so
fan.
you did. Okay.
Yep.
So you soldered the parts to go.
Yeah, so inside, so there's 6 LED strips in here. So there's one on the outside of each, and then one on the inside. And whatever happened to this poor guy in here, he's just not working. But,
Is that why it's blinking, or is it supposed to blink?
it's supposed to blink.
Okay.
So
Oh,
if
but
you,
this part, it's darker on this
you
side
see,
right here.
Yeah, so
yeah.
the cool thing, sorry, I'm trying not to stab you,
No, you're fine.
about this one is the way it's made is the cap comes off, and then, yeah, so when I pull this out, it'll turn off.
Yep.
And then it's got a really cool, like, I don't know if it'll show, let's see.
What do you?
Yeah, if you hold it, that's okay. I'll grab
Okay.
that piece in a second. So when you plug it back in,
Yeah.
it does that.
What?
Uh-huh, like it's powering up.
What?
And then it starts flashing.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And eventually,
How did you figure out how to do that? Was that part of
that
the
was part
design?
of the coding. Like there's an Arduino chip in there, which is like a little nano
And was all of that in
computer
the
chip.
model?
It was
that
all
you
in
bought?
the model.
Oh, so it tells you how to do all of that stuff to make the whole thing happen.
It gives you some parameters.
Okay, then you have to
when
figure the rest out.
You got to figure some stuff
That's kind of
out.
like me
Yep.
and Dustin. I just tell Dustin, like, Dustin, this is what I want,
And then Dustin does all the
and
dirty
you
work.
figure out how to make it happen. Is that right, Dustin? Yeah, he doesn't have his mic on. Okay. Perfect.
Yep. So, yeah, that, and then I'm gonna probably employ Brandon a little bit on figuring out, because this is, I think you can code Arduinos, at least this one, C++.
Yeah.
And Brandon knows C++.
From a while back, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Familiar
cool.
with it
If it
So you
was
could go
maybe-
in there.
yeah.
You could go in there and code it then to other stuff.
Yeah,
to
so-
flicker and
Yep.
do all kinds of different light shows and stuff.
Yeah, you could
That would
probably
be-
make it so
that
it
would be
does
so-
that. Yeah,
that
I just
would
didn't
be
have
cool.
time at like 2
That
a.m.
would be cool if you could
Yeah.
get it to constantly do
Yeah.
the power. That would be
Yep.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, Arduinos are what a lot of times they put in the lightsabers, like people's lightsabers
Got
that
it.
like glow and stuff. Yep.
Perfect. Well, let's talk a little bit about Brand. Well,
Oh.
let me. Well, I just want to talk a little bit about Brandon's class. So
Oh,
you guys
yes.
made this was a 3D print as well
Yes.
for his blade sword prop. And is this sword different than in the comic book? Is this specific to Marvel Rivals?
This is specific to Marvel Rivals,
Got
yeah.
it.
So
Got it.
in the comics or in like the Wesley Snipes one, it's more of like a katana
Correct.
that he uses,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's the it's ancestral sword, I believe is what it's called in the game, and in the comics. I mean, not in the comics, in the Marvel Rivals game. So yeah, he's got two of them. There's this is the long one, and he has a smaller one that he has as well that he dual wields, but we didn't.
We didn't
both
do
of
the
them.
smaller one because we did a really cool blade shotgun.
Yeah, he has a shotgun, like handgun
with
that he
the
has.
stakes,
That's
but
so cool.
they're a little strict here, which is understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we couldn't bring it in.
So we couldn't
That
bring
makes
it
sense.
in, but
Yeah.
Cool. So
we'll
let's.
post pictures of it.
All right, so
Yeah.
this is usually a segment about foam.
Yes.
So we did a lot of 3D printing talk. Let's talk about the foam pieces that you have
Yay.
on both of you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. The foam piece on Brandon
gonna be in my
is
collar.
his
Yep.
collar.
Yep.
So when I originally had time before I con crunched, I was going to come do a demonstration on how you can wrap foam in fabric and then put it in. So this
Got it.
is foam wrapped in fabric so
Got it.
that because Blade's collar stands up really well.
Yeah.
And I think like in the comics and stuff, there's
Right.
a lot of things in comics that are like
I wonder what
gravity
got it
defying
to.
and
Well, that's what I was
physics.
going to say. I wonder what actually because in the movie did his thing stand?
Yeah,
Was that
it's
maybe a
yeah.
leather piece, or maybe they used foam and
They
did the
probably
exact
used
same thing?
or interfacing.
Yeah, that could have
Because you can use really like stiff, starchy interfacing,
Right.
but I bought this trench coat and redid some stuff on
been.
it.
Yeah. So
and
would that
was,
be EVA foam that's inside
yes,
of there?
that is
Great.
EVA foam, which is ethylene vinyl.
Oh, we have it in here somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Let me
I
see.
remember.
I have a banner that said it somewhere.
cyanoacrylate or-
Hold on, it's in. Let me see if I can do it. I have it in the Mercury banners, maybe. Hold on, let's see here. It is. Hold on, I'm almost there. I just saw it. It is ethylene vinyl acetate.
Oh, I was
EVA. Look at
close.
that.
There
We
it
have
is.
an actual use of
Acronym.
EVA in here.
Yes.
We'll have, and so my plan is to put as much foam. Like we'll make a
Knowledge,
foam
yes.
banner section in there, and every time we'll just boom, 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 boom,
Right.
boom,
EVA,
rapid fire.
ethylene vinyl
Yeah, right.
acetate.
We'll just go through all of the acronyms. Okay, so
Should I Wayne's World sing them? Ethylene vinyl acetate.
yes, you should 100%. We should get sound bites of
Right.
that and play that all the time.
People will be like, "Oh, my ears! Why do I
No,
listen to
I think
this?"
you were in whatever tune you were in, right?
Yeah.
Whatever tune it was meant to
Well,
be.
you
it
were,
was
you were,
in.
you, well, at that point, you're just singing a note.
Exactly.
Like, it's
true.
not like.
Yeah. Yeah, I played the tuba.
Oh, so you're
I
fine.
didn't. Yeah.
Brandon,
poorly.
did you play?
No,
an
no, I
instrument?
did not. I was not in band. I am not a musician at all. Actually, I played rock band. I was pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Singing, but not the instruments.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should do all the.
No, no, no.
Yeah, you should
I
do
could
all
hit.
of
The,
the
I could.
singing.
I could hit the notes in the game, but like it probably sounded horrid.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
on you we have a breastplate. That's
Yes.
the
The Phoenix.
Yep.
So I got an initial pattern to do it because for me, the shape of a breastplate is very difficult to get right because it's just such an organic shape. Like, I don't want to sound weird, but like the spheres on a breastplate are very difficult because of like you're taking flat pieces and then you have to make them like very round.
right.
So I got an under pattern for that, and then I just kind of Frankensteined it together, and then I hand drew like all of these extra elements on there and hand shaped those, and then stuck them on, and then hand painted the Phoenix.
That's cool. How
So-
long did it take to hand paint?
Actually, probably an hour.
Yeah, that wasn't that.
Yeah.
That long.
That
Only
one,
an hour
yeah.
on top of all of the.
Right?
Did you
Yeah.
have- but you guys, so though with this, some of this stuff though, you're not you're not on your. Well, who were you yesterday?
Yesterday, Brandon was Alphonse.
Yeah.
and
You were
I,
Alphonse and you were.
I handled.
Oh, okay, you just.
Yep.
Oh, right, because you can't
Because
see
yeah,
or do anything in it.
Kyle, we've been thinking of this joke for a while where he's in Deadpool, but he wears my Edward Elric jacket.
Oh, that would
and
be
he
really
had his
cool.
Ultron arm, so we were walking around and he was Deadward Elric, the full Marvel alchemist.
Yes.
Yes,
that
so,
was so
we'll
cool.
definitely be posting pictures of that.
And then you're
um,
coming as Peach and Bowser tomorrow, or no?
we
You're not knocking out Peach and
actually,
Bowser.
I think we're gonna do these ones again to get kind of a second
Yeah.
run through, unless we were Mario Karting.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
did-
no, we Mario Karted yesterday.
okay,
Oh,
there
okay.
we
And
go.
we
Perfect.
made up a new segment. It's now called, whenever we play games, it's just Beat Daryl. So
Oh, okay.
Daryl's over there. Daryl played a bunch of kids. He beat
Did he
all
beat
of,
him?
Yeah, he beat all of them
Okay.
except for 2.
Harsh.
And then they won, but everybody won a
Yeah, of
prize.
course.
So yeah. And then later today we're gonna do beat Daryl Street Fighter 6.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the cool thing about the Street Fighter 6 one that we're gonna do is that anybody that plays is going to put in a raffle, because when I ordered the Street Fighter 6, apparently I bought 2 of them, so I have an extra Street Fighter 6.
Perfect.
So I was like, I guess we'll just give the Street Fighter
There
6
you
away.
go.
There we
So
go.
we'll put them into a raffle and do it. But yeah, so what? So you're going to redo these outfits then, possibly tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then are you planning on using these again in the future then as part of your lineup?
Yes, yeah. So we're actually trying to figure out how we can get them on airplanes. So
Right.
typically, well, more so the swords,
Yeah.
because these ones don't break down like the other ones. I did
Got
not
it.
engineer. So we're thinking, actually, I have to see how.
Giant duffel bag? But would
they
they
would
break?
Yeah, so we're thinking of getting a giant, big like hard shell bass case,
Oh,
for a
yeah.
bass guitar.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we could get that in there. It's just.
And then what you could do is you could probably get foam.
And then
cut
you make
the,
like
the
a
actual
yes,
cutout for the swords
that,
in
and
the
then
foam.
put it in the base
Yeah,
case,
that would
so
protect
that.
them. How would you get these though?
So
Because these don't come off, right?
they do not.
Yeah.
So these are gonna have to be like super.
So this was
wrapped.
a model print.
Yes.
This part was and then or did it print? It can't
No,
print out all of this
it
like
did
this.
not.
It's
All
not
spikes
I
were-
think of this is how I think of like 3D printing in my mind, that it's just there,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it's just
Yeah.
graphing
Right.
an entire
Yeah.
design of whatever it is.
That would be awesome if you
It's
could do that.
kind of that, but in a different way. So like it builds it layer by layer. So it's I'm fascinated by it. Like I'll sit there and watch it do it, and then I'm like, it's been 10 minutes. It's gone
It's
like
gone
this
up
much.
like
But
this
I
much.
love watching it when it gets like to the end of a spike, because it's like and then it's done, and it's just so cool to watch it build.
Right.
But no, each spike was individually, like I could print them all at the same time,
So then
but
how
I
did-
had to glue them in.
together.
Yeah.
So then what, I guess to kind of, we're getting close to the end of the time here. To kind of close this out, what are some, I guess, conferences that you're going to be, I know you said WeebCon,
Yep.
conferences you're doing next, but then what are some new, do you have any ideas in mind for some of your next cosplays?
Yeah, so you want to go over where we'll
Yeah.
be next?
Yeah, sure. So beginning of April, the 3rd to the 5th, will be in Texas, in Dallas, Fort Worth area for WeebCon. And there we're going to be Blade Magic one day, because they have a Marvel Rivals meetup on Saturday, so we'll be doing
So
that.
this will be useful then.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
those people
absolutely,
probably be
yes.
more- yeah, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
End of April, we're going to be at Level Up, which is a gaming convention like Game On. That'll be in Vegas, so we'll do Blade Magic there too. We haven't decided on exactly what other ones we're going to do that day, that con. We're not doing anything new for them for that. But then in June, we'll be at Fan Fusion. And July is when we're going to debut a bigger one in Anime Expo, which is in Los Angeles. We're going to do Kaiju number 8 and then Shinomiya.
Do
Yeah.
you have those made?
Not yet.
No.
No,
Oh, I
that's-
didn't think you guys did.
I'm going to take
No.
like a week off.
Yeah.
You know, because
I'm going to take a month off of my
Yeah.
job,
Right.
and then I'm going to solely dedicate my entire life
Oh,
to making these cosplays.
right? Yeah. So I'm gonna take like a week off to just like breathe and recover,
Right.
and then I'll probably start working on those, because July's gonna come way faster than.
Oh, it's going to be here
Yeah.
before we know it.
This was.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I woke up, we're here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. And so yeah, Kaiju number 8, and then I'm gonna get roasted like always, because I forgot her name and I just know her as Shinomiya's mom.
I have a whole show about these things. I forget names all the time. We were
Yeah.
playing. I did a segment at the
Hikaru
retro
Shinomiya?
game. I couldn't tell if I was watching Killer Instinct or Tekken. I was like, I think it's Tekken. And then Joey's like, I think it's Tekken. And then I was like, when we were walking, I was like, maybe it's Killer Instinct. But those names sound so familiar.
Yeah.
But I don't remember this guy with the sword.
Yeah.
And then when I talked to the guy that ran the thing, he was like, oh, it's Tekken 3. And I'm like, okay. So we were kind of
Yeah,
right.
we were
It
there.
would have been funny if he was like, "Oh, that was Mortal Kombat."
Yeah, if it was something completely different, it would have even been worse if he was like, it was Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm way off.
way off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is great. So then Kaiju number 8, and is there other things that you're planning on making, or you have?
At the end of the year, we're going to do for the Avengers Doomsday.
Oh, yes.
We're going to do. I'm going to be M'Baku from Black Panther, the
Oh.
king of the Wakandans now.
Yep.
And then you're going to be what's
Who
her
did we
name?
decide?
It was going to
Oh,
be
Namora.
Namora. Yeah.
Oh,
Namora,
Yeah.
I love Nomura.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So.
That's gonna be great.
That's at the end
Yeah.
of the year.
And I don't
whatever.
think I'm gonna do comic Namora, because I looked her up, because I was like trying to decide, you know, who would be like respectful to do in the Black Panther universe, and I didn't think Shuri was a good call for that,
Yeah.
and so, or like doing Black
Yeah.
Panther. So Namora actually in the comics is like super kind of boring looking, so I'm gonna do the movie Nomura. yeah,
Yeah,
it's fair.
absolutely.
Yep,
That's fair.
yep.
Fair. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Danielle and Brandon. Where can people find you on social media?
So yeah, HuskyHubbyCosplay on YouTube, Instagram. We have a TikTok. We don't use it as often, but mainly Instagram and YouTube.
Yep.
Right on. That's awesome.
And then Arizona Cosplay as well.
Oh yes,
Oh,
I
yeah,
totally
our group.
forgot.
Yep.
Arizona
All
Cosplay.
good.
Group.
And then also the group Arizona Cosplay, which we talked to Kyle yesterday. You'll see hopefully some of their stuff when we do the vendor walkthrough. But again, for Arizona Cosplay, not these props you're not selling, but you guys do make some props.
Yeah.
And then you sell them. And who is the charity that you're donating to from this event?
It's a food bank.
It's a food bank. It's
I
the
was
Southwest.
gonna say I forget.
It's okay. It's
the
the Southwest.
food bank of
it's a,
Southern Arizona.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Arizona, Southern Arizona
Yep.
Food
So
Bank.
Yep.
Kyle is based in Tucson,
Yep.
and so a lot of at this point, a lot of stuff we do is there for
Yep.
Tucson.
Yep.
And I think they know some of the people there, so it's really good too. We like to know where it's going.
All right. Well, I hope that you guys are enjoying our Game On Expo coverage, and we are going to take a break. But wherever you're watching this, make sure that you like and subscribe, and make sure that you turn on your live settings so you know when we're going live, because in about 45 minutes, I'm going live, and I'm getting a matching tattoo with Chuck live on air, and I think Chuck picked it out, so I think I'm going to get a mushroom of some type, and I don't know where it's going on my body, but it's going to be in the exact same spot that Chuck decides to have it on our bodies, and that is a new
All
segment that
right.
we're doing moving forward, so we'll see what
There we go.
happens. And with that, everybody, again, this is Brandon, this is Danielle from Husky Hubby Cosplay, my name is Jeremy at Age of Jeremy, and you're watching Mercury, your home for podcasting and other pop culture news, live from Game On Expo 2026. And with that, as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.
Later.